What I did was I created an Aboriginal education competency matrix. And on one side, I've got a whole bunch of things like pedagogy, awareness of the history, life values, life ways, government and Aboriginal people, trauma, belonging, cultural activities, bicultural. And then I look at most schools will do a very elementary job of it. I've done numerous school evaluations of school programs and stuff over the years, and I find lots of just basic stuff. It's not complicated stuff that they're doing. Intermediate is where they're moving up more towards meeting the Aboriginal student needs, and then when you get to the advanced level, they're firing on all cylinders. I've never met a school like that, never. And as you move through this, going to intermediate, you're starting to study things like suicide, suicidal students. You're starting to study all of those types of things. And then when you get up to an advanced level, your school, when that child comes through the door, there's strategies to dance with it right off the bat. For Native people, education would be helping them become healthy people in our worlds. Because a traumatized kid is very difficult to learn because they've got these antennae out, just looking for trauma. They're so sensitive to signals, triggers, that it's really hard for them to learn. And most teachers don't have even that basic understanding of trauma. So what I think is you need to create a resilience program. Those 4 goals: the emotional pain, the belonging, the cultural, the academics. But then you have, circling all of that, you need a steering committee that knows Aboriginal people and can help shape the program. If there's a problem, we'll do a circle talk. So we're doing a whole bunch of things that ground us as Native people. Even with counseling, I believe in social dynamic type of counseling as opposed to other forms of counseling. I'm bicultural. I can apply for and nail down a $300,000 grant in this white world. I can go home back to my traditional territory, put snowshoes on. I'm going to do it next month. Chase moose down on snowshoes, kill it out in the bush, make skin toboggans, drag it all out. I do all my fishing. I can tan hides. I can do everything connected to my world. Bicultural, I'm comfortable in my native world. I'm comfortable in the white world. That is what education should be for Native kids, is that last one. You have to acknowledge the trauma. In white worlds, there isn't as much trauma, so it's not as critical. In white world, the schools are created for their kids to belong as much as possible already, but not for Native kids. They come to school, and if it's not a belonging environment, they can't recharge at school. Creating environments that acknowledge the trauma, teach people how to do. There's a fancy word now called trauma-informed practices. I was doing that in the 80s. I didn't know all of this stuff, but because I knew how to find beauty, that one strategy, one technique, one belief that these old people had, I always looked for beauty in these kids. And I don't care how tough they were, I found it.